All right, today we are sitting with John Richards of JWR Financial. How's it going today?
I'm doing great,
Doing great. He is a mortgage broker and one of the few that I know that's doing extremely well, right?
Yeah, we're still keeping really busy.
Now, he's based out of Indianapolis, Indiana. His specialty is investment property.
Investment properties.
But you still do some traditional.
Not a lot, not a lot. I figured out a long time ago that you have to create a niche for yourself, and my niche was investment properties. And was able to get some tough deals done early on, and I just kept on that track, and now I got more business I know what to do with.
Okay, so let's get to some of these questions that people have asked us that I want to throw to you. How or why did you get into the mortgage business?
It's been 25 years in the lumber business. Did very well, managed a lumber yard, managed an 84 lumber store. Met a guy playing darts. His name was Gino Ekrit, and introduced me to the mortgage business. Said, come try it out. I did. Within 2 weeks, I closed my first deal. I thought, man, this is it. 6 months later, I closed my second deal, and then I thought maybe I made a mistake. Just kept working it, marketing it, and started closing some loans, and the income started getting real good. Anything you do, if you set goals and you work hard at something, you can become successful if you think the right things. So
and you read a lot of those self-help books, right?
Lots, daily.
What's the biggest ones you recommend right now?
Just read The Slight Edge by
Jeff Olson.
Really good book. Science of Getting Rich by Warren Waddles.
Now that's one I'm not familiar with. Warren Waddles.
Yeah, Power of Full Engagement was another good one. There's a lot of them out there.
So you believe in feeding your mind constantly with
daily,
positive energy?
Daily. Negativity is rampant in our business. I just don't deal with it.
Well, and that brings me to question number 2 that I had was, any regrets of going in the mortgage business? And apparently we don't.
No. I mean, it got a little tough there for a while. I remember I was in Florida when Washington Mutual went down, and I had a lot of business there. That'll throw you into a little bit of a spin. But again, if you think the right things, you just got to keep working at it. I had a lot of business, just not a lot of places to take it there for a while because you didn't know what the banks were going to do.
Right. Okay, so you're having success. You're seeing things in the market. So can you give us your thoughts about the state of the real estate market right now? We're getting a lot of negative news on CNBC and Fox. Then you turn it on the next day and we're hearing some good things. Very short, then it's back to negative. What's your take on that?
Your first mistake there is to watch that news. It's not as bad as you think. There's still loans closing. You have to have good credit. You have to have good assets. You have to have good income. I still have lenders.
We're back to basics, folks.
Right. If you got a 700 credit score or higher, you have good assets and good income, I can get the deals done. There's lenders out there. You just have to. My business is continually finding lenders. It's not the big lenders that do the business anymore. It's not the Countrywides, the Chase, the Flagstars. It's the smaller lenders that do all the good work for us right now.
Okay.
Because they need the business more. Countrywide and some of those, you're going to wait forever. And I'm not good. I'm very impatient. I'm not good at waiting forever. So
we want to make business happen, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so given the state of the market, how long do you think before we'll see a recovery? Do you think we're at bottom now?
Oh yeah. I mean, I had a month where I actually slowed down, and I just kept focused. I mean, I don't deal with negativity. You hear it every day. The mortgage business. I mean, I'd go out and I feel like, man, I'm the guy that caused all this, but I'm not.
We have a lot of peers that are out of business right
exactly, and that's just good for me. So I think if you do things right, and if you stay creative. I mean, it's a business of being creative, and keep up on the business, and make sure you know everything that's going on.
And you have a passion for the business.
Oh yeah,
it shows.
Yeah, you have to have.
Okay. Okay, given the current economic climate and tightened guidelines, we've talked about HVCC and things like that in the past. A lot of people know that. What advice can you give an investor to qualify for a mortgage right now?
Well, first thing, some of the questions I would ask you would be, what's your credit score? If you don't have at least a 700 credit score, first thing you probably want to do is get with some credit repair, see if you can get your score up to 700.
And you can hook clients up with that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make sure you've got a 2-year track record in employment. You have to be in the same field for the last 2 years, but don't let that be a negative. We can figure ways to string all that together. Some people don't realize that that they are financeable until I take a look at the deal. and then make sure your assets are in line. It's not as hard as you think. The biggest thing that I deal with is the length of time it takes. People think that it's still, you can close a loan in 2 weeks.
It's not 2-3 weeks anymore.
No. Sometimes, but most of the time it's 4, 6 weeks, maybe longer. I think the key to my success is I don't ever give up. So if a deal falters in one place, I take it somewhere else. In fact, I closed the deal for you. If you remember, we faltered with one lender, took it to another lender, and closed the deal.
Right.
In 8 years, I think there's only been 2 loans I didn't get closed. Now, some of them took a long time.
So here's proof, folks. We've got guys closing business, getting deals done.
Right, exactly.
So, and we've kind of touched on this a little bit, but we've seen so many banks, realtors, and mortgage brokers fail, right? I mean, you just look at the phone book, start dialing disconnected.
Right.
What advice can you give younger mortgage brokers or people struggling or realtors or investors? How can they succeed in this market?
Don't focus on the money. I mean, you got to focus on being creative. Take the borrower to make them look as good as you can. It's all about painting a picture. If you send in a good picture of a borrower, the deal will get done. If you don't do all your homework, make sure all the assets are together, make sure you got all the proper documentation, look into everything, the deal won't get done.
Don't lie on your application.
Right. I don't focus on the money. I focus on creating value for my client. I focus on making sure I do the deal properly. The money comes. The money comes because you're going to close the deal. These guys that are out there rushing and trying to stick $300 more on a deal, those are the guys that fail. Those are the guys that are working at Burger King today.
So we know creative real estate,
right?
Do you feel that that's kind of dead right now and we're back to basics and doing things the right way?
Guidelines change every day. It's like the HBCC. Most of the brokers I talk to, they're scared to death of that. It's just another, we're going to have to figure that out just like we figured everything else out.
Right.
And it'll all be fine. Fannie Mae changing from 10 to 4. Everybody, oh my gosh, the whole world's going to come to an end. It's not. In some ways, it's a good thing.
Well, I think there's a lot of opportunity, and I think the next generation of wealth is going to be created through this down market. It's those of us that fight, feed ourselves with a positive energy, and just make it happen.
I think a lot of people were used to buy properties, didn't even know why they were buying properties. Now you've got more people that are buying properties because that's what they want to be into. They want to own good cash flow properties for the long term. Used to be people buy properties and they were looking at selling it 3 months down the road. I don't deal with that anymore. I deal with a lot of borrowers who are long-term hold. I deal with a lot of California investors. I got Hawaiian investors because Indiana, where I'm located, is a real good market. Values are holding. I'm excited. I
like that. We're ready to go, right?
I have piles of deals sitting in here, man. So it might take a bit. So,
well, actually, we can take a quick look over there at his desk, and you'll see a whole stack of folders right there.
And extremely organized. You notice that, right?
Ready to go. Well, we'd like to thank John for taking the time out of his day today to speak with us. I know you're very busy. We can tell by the stack of folders. But JWR Financial.
Right.
Phone number?
317-205-9560. You can even call me on my cell.
Personal.
The mortgage business is a full-time deal, man. So 317-908-3717. You can email me at jwr1960@jwrfinancial.net.
And he is Gladiator approved. We do work with him. Awesome guy. You've got properties you want to do. This is the guy you'll call. All right. Well, that's it for us.
All right.
We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.